Hello again. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the commercial short sales today. You know, there are two strategies that you can use with regard to commercial short sales. And remember, this is going to be the big thing from now until, they say, the middle of 2012. They say, the proverbial they. I always wondered who they were. Well, they is Real Capital Analytics, the New York Times, all of the major organizations that are integral to our community in commercial real estate. They're predicting that over 68%, get your head around that, 68% of all commercial mortgages are going to need to be rolled over between now and 2012. That's a lot of short sales. And they're saying that this debacle is going to be so large that it is going to absolutely dwarf what we saw from the residential crisis. So there are two things that you can do with regard to commercial short sales. You can flip them for short-term profit and cash, and or you can hold these properties for long-term wealth. So we've got two techniques that I want to talk to you about. And the first one is with regard to flipping. You can sandwich yourself right in between the buyer and the seller, never actually having to buy the property or own the property. And you can sandwich yourself right in between the buyer and the seller and make a flip for quick profits, and we're going to show you how to do that later on. The other way to do this is you can actually acquire the properties and hold them for long-term wealth. Again, creating massive streams of income. Can you imagine if you had just a 20-unit apartment complex, 20 units, where each of those tenants were paying you $500 a month of rent? 20 units, that's not a big building. $500 a month, that's not a lot of rent, but that's $10,000 a month of income. And we're going to talk to you about that because commercial property can actually be easier to finance and easier to buy than even residential. And it is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be able to buy these right now because, as I mentioned, the banks are going to be inundated with these properties and they're going to be making all kinds of deals. So again, flip the property, sandwiching yourself in between the buyer and the seller, and flip it for quick profits. And we're going to talk about doing that without you even having to own the property. That would be regardless of your financial situation and regardless of your credit situation, and or own the properties long term and create the kind of cash flow that you can live off of for years to come. Here's to 2010.